It has been quite the week for Meghan Markle's headline-grabbing revelations. First came that controversial interview with the American magazine where she repeated a slightly contested story that was that her marriage to Prince Harry, she said, had sparked similar joy in South Africa as when Nelson Mandela was freed. Well, swiftly following on from that, the next day there was the release of the second episode of her new podcast, Archetypes, with guest Mariah Carey. Now, on both those occasions, Prince Harry happened to pop in, but didn't seem to contribute very much. The same thing also happened during the previous week's podcast, which was with Serena Williams, where Meghan generously allowed him to come say hi. So, the question we're asking is Harry now simply the support act to Meghan's starring role, which a lot of people have interpreted it? I think it's clear that these incidences are very choreographed. Just from when you hear it, they sound quite phony, and I think that's what people have got an issue with. Personally, I think there is nothing sexier than a man pushing his wife into the spotlight and and supporting. That's really lovely, and she's going to be making this big speech for him, but there's something about the way they do it that slightly gives me the ick.
No.
Really? The ick? I mean, I wouldn't... Look, I'm not for the Meghan pile-in, which is a big thing. We said this the other day. But she's got one note, and that's that she's married to Prince Harry. And that's it, really. And I used to be a member of the royal family. And that is it. She wouldn't be doing this if she... What was that thing she was at? Suits, wasn't it? Which was, apparently it was kind of OK.
It was lifestyle brand.
She was all right, but she wouldn't be doing all of this on the back of Suits. She's doing all of this on the back of the fact that she was a sort of a princess and now she's a bit of a duchess, whatever all that means. And that's kind of it, really. I mean, part of me thinks good luck to her, but let's just constantly remind ourselves that all these revelations, these stories, everything she's doing is only because she's married to Harry.
What revelations? What stories? She's done 5 interviews since she left the royal family. It's hardly groundbreaking. And the revelations, they're being sensationalised by the rest of the press. She does an interview...
But she knows that when she does it.
But she does an interview and she tells the truth, and suddenly everyone...
Well, she might tell the truth. She tells her truth.
Well, she tells her truth. And, for example, with the Mandela thing, she didn't compare herself to Nelson Mandela. It's like me saying, Ian Collins, actually, you remind me a bit of a German dictator, actually. And then you go to somebody else and you say to someone else, Jackie said I remind me of a German dictator. And the headline, Ian Collins compares himself to German dictator. It wouldn't happen that way.
No, but she did happily repeat it. That was the point.
Why not?
They actually said that it was a bit like Mandela.
Yes.
You're just being too nice about this awful woman.
Why is she awful?
Because she's, as Ian said, she's only famous. She's only got this level of fame and this level of opportunity because she married into the royal family. And as a result of it, if she had brought out a podcast or something which just focused on other things rather than, continuing to do things where she knows they can't answer back. She knows that they won't be able to clarify. She knows that she gives half-truth. It's not truth, it's half-truth.
She didn't say anything.
It's like bait to the press. She knows it's
She didn't say anything about the royal family in the Mariah Carey podcast.
Thank God for that.
And I think that this... Oh, God almighty. Me and JJ got to stick together here. Look, I think it's such a misogynistic suggestion to say, actually, that Prince Harry is now her support act, because that implies, therefore, that she is this manipulative, domineering character where actually they live together. It is. They live together. That's what the press push, isn't it? The manipulative Meghan. She stole our Harry. Well, Princess Diana left the royal family under different circumstances. We were all talking, I wasn't on the show last night, but everyone else was talking about how Princess Diana did things her own way and she carved out her own path and she wanted to move to California and start a new life. That's what Meghan and Harry have done, and yet we're tearing them both down for
I don't think it's we don't have to tear them apart. I actually think she's kind of all right, to be honest, but let's just acknowledge that it's a one-trick pony situation, isn't it?
And
that is that she's famous now because of Harry.
No, we only care about her with a royal lens. Actually, her fans, myself included,
what else?
I couldn't
Why
care
would you be listening to a Meghan Markle podcast?
Because I watched her in Suits, and her podcast is really, really good. It's all about women and
it's good because she was married to Harry. She's now she's that famous. She can get people like Serena Williams and Mariah Carey.
But you can make that comparison to any celebrity. You can say that about the Kardashians. They're only famous because of reality TV. You can say that about anything. But you do have to judge these people on what they tell you. And the thing that does annoy me is the fact that she does does keep harking back to, they wouldn't let me put pictures out of my kids, and the press, the Royal Rota called my children the N-word, and all these things that I think
she knows
are
it's a trigger.
Truths.
She knows it's a trigger, and I think I don't have a problem with them moving. I totally understand. I'm sure to be in that spotlight must be absolutely horrendous, and the hounding and all of that stuff horrendous, and I don't condone it. But I think she knows what she's doing.